one version of this. 10.5.
I got one for you.
That sounded naughty.
Oh, that was great. Welcome back. Sorry. All right, it's gonna be a beautiful day today. Tomorrow, not so much. So tomorrow is going to be planning a trip. We're going to go camping later this month. I'll be in the F-150, but it's just get out and camp while it's still spring and get some stuff done. I did get a package full of new connectors and stuff from Waytech. Waytech, which is like waytechwire.com or something like that. I think that's correct. Yes, waytechwire.com, which I had incorrect in a previous video. Got the connectors in, don't need them, but I got them done. All right, today we're gonna put in, are you way back there? Do you wanna be up here? Today we're going to put in the panel box. We're going to put together a panel box for this side right over here. Basically, I need something to bolt the our circuit board that we built over here. I need something to bolt that onto. Bolt, screw, connect, whatever. And I picked MDF. I wonder if that's a good idea. But I will say, when I was worried about, am I going to have enough weight in the vehicle to make the springs do anything? That's in the 80 to 100 pounds range. So the more I'm thinking about how we're going to build the bed for this and our sliding drawer, there's going to be several 100 pounds of wood in the back of this. So yeah, this is going to ride a lot smoother, and we'll start taxing the springs a little bit based on that. But I will get some weights and figure out how much weights. I'm going to get some weights, how much that stuff weighs, and I'll be calculating that. I wish I could drag the truck over some scales right now while it's dry and there's nothing in it. And that way I get an idea of how actually heavy it's going to be. I may still try to do that, but I want the bonnet and the cowl on before we get to that point, so that will work excellently. All right, I'm going to attempt to move the MDF board by myself in here, and then I'll need to steel this table to set it up to do some cutting and measuring and then cutting. Actually, measure twice, cut once, unless you don't care, and then you just cut and then you go, damn it, and you go buy another piece and then you wind up starting over. There you go. All right, let's get that started. And I'm not going to make you watch me struggle, because my back hurts already, and that won't be fun. Damn. Yeah, that was heavy. Looked online, 90 to 100 pounds. Moved that in here by myself. Old fat man still got it in him. He can still do it. And I still get bombarded by wasps. So I'm hoping they find someplace else to be today. Yeah. Anyway, I got one on the window, and I got a red, whatever the red ones are called. I got him over there, and he's just getting downtown Julie Brown. Okay, that's what we're doing. All right, let's do some measurements. Measuring is fun. You didn't know how much fun you were going to be brought in on today. All right, we're going to be working in this area. So we're going to extend this, then we're going to go up there and see what that looks like up there, and then push it down to match our environment. All right, right here is basically the edge and the floor of the back of the bed. So my box needs to come up and do this. Or I have a lower box here and a bigger box back there, which seems more complicated and unnecessary. So we're gonna do that. All right, let's do this with, whoops, no slidey when we got extended so far. Let's do this. All right, now we're cooking. All right, now we're gonna slide that back somewhere in the neighborhood of roughly, this roughly number here, whatever that is down there. Let's look. All right, so now we're down here. So we've got that roughly where we want it up there. And so now down here, we need to plan how far back this is gonna go. So we don't want to put it all the way against the back. We also want to cover up some stuff. And the fancy dream is that this will at some point have a subwoofer in it. So yeah, I still want my tunes. So we're gonna do that. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. So let's, oh man, you messed that up. All right, start over. Okay, 4 feet is right here, and that would leave me a couple of inches back here to do stuff with, because the back, like where this seal is 4'5". 4 foot 5 inches. So probably ought to go at 4, I think. Let's try 4. Okay, 4, and then we're gonna need this measurement here. We're gonna have some adjustments for this. So we'll have to cut the box around that C-pillar. All right, but we're at 18 inches, puts us above the top of the window. So we want to be at 17 inches. We should probably be writing these down. All right, and then we want to do some depth, which is going to be a lot less. So we need to know how top it's going to be. Okay, the farthest in it is. All right, we just need to clear the wheel well. So the edge would need to be, what is going on with this mount? All right, so the edge needs to be somewhere in that 10.5 range for our top. Yeah, I think that will work. Let's do 10.5 as the top. All right, we won't make the mistake of putting 2 slashes here like they did in Spinal Tap. All right, all right, that's where we're at. So let's do some board drawing so we can get that sorted out over here. Okay, all right, let's get some measurements here. Today we're going to use our K-Lite 100 FM ruler from Los Angeles, which apparently was a very short-lived radio station in the late 80s that played light music, which I would never have listened to anyway, but there was a dispute and they got bought out. and they lost the name K-Light to somebody else, and this radio station became Pirate Radio, which I definitely would have listened to. All right, let's do 4 foot in length first. And our board is square, at least in this corner. All right, that's encouraging. So this is 4 foot, so let's make sure it's really 4 feet, which I think it's a little longer than 4 feet. It is longer than 4 feet. So we're going to mark 4 feet on this board. Chair. We'll have a little wastage. 4 foot, and then 4 foot down here too.
What are you doing?
Putting the box in on the back side of the Range Rover.
Oh, I thought, you're making Lisa's table.
I knew you were gonna say, are you making Lisa's table? This is MDF, my woman. This is not a table material. Sorry, no matter how many levels of paint on it. I thought you were going to the hospital the way you're dressed.
The hospital?
Yeah, it looks like you have like, this is like your hospital cut clothes. No. Do you, grab the coupons off the deck. Is it after the week? Oh! Sunday those coupons are good. That figures. All right. Love you. See ya.
But your truck is kind of in the way.
Do you want to move it? She still tolerates me. All right. Let's do some cutting with some saws and stuff. I wish you'd have been here to help me carry it in. Fuck, that thing's 100 pounds. That was hard. Okay, just don't let it hit the ground. That should not have moved. Damn it. One or the other of those are wrong. Why did it want to do that to me? Why is it doing that to me, Drew? That's why it's doing it to me, this fucking... Wait, it's bothering me. Not great. Okay. Damn it. Dang, that puts up some dust, don't it? Okay, that went poorly. Probably because my cord was pulling the bottom of, I thought I got enough cord up over it to keep it from dragging my saw to this side. I did not. Fail. So we're going to cut some more stuff now. All right. That's what we're gonna do. All right, we need to cut 1 inch off that board. So we're going to measure it again and recut it. All right, so 1 inch off this board. We'll use the tape measure and we'll use it on both sides so I don't have to have trust issues. Well, let's measure it one more time just because it's weird. I think it's 49 inches. It is. All right, so we're gonna go with 1 inch off here. 1 inch off here. 1. Square across it. Square. Lined up. To the non-square side. Let's go to the other side. This is square. Some of these cuts will be right. Don't be moving. Didn't take shop. Probably should have taken. Would have liked shop, I think. Except for all the bullies were in shop. So
It wasn't required.
not my high school. Tiny new saw?
No, I think this is just when you're pushing on it, it's starting to do that, and it's tilting. Yeah. Cadence gets off at 2, and she's gonna come and get her.
Yeah, I stopped at the car wash and bought some time. So I had her do a car wash instead of me spending 3 hours washing the truck. All right, this is. That'll have to do. All right, that's what I got. All right, so one piece is ready. Where's the others? All right, so we need one that's 17 by 4. We got it. So I need another 10.5 piece. So we're gonna need a 10.5 inch long one version of this. 10.5.
I got one for you.
That sounded naughty.
Oh, that was great. Hand me the pencil. 10.5. That's 1. That's wrong. 10.5 was over here. All right, 10.5. That's this 9 mark. 10.5 and that 9 mark. All right, let's do a 10.5 on the 9 mark. All right. Try again. See how we do. All right. You want to catch that side, or come back here and catch this side when I get past this deal. Don't have that problem this time. What am I hitting?
You're in the fucking table thing?
I'm hitting the table. I just cut through my table.
Sparks going.
Yeah, I thought so too. I just ruined my table.
You did cut through.
Cut all the way through it. All right, hold this up.
The way he handled the situation, he should be embarrassed of himself.
Damn it.
You should know there's nothing wrong with your saw.
I was thinking the MDF had metal in it, and I was like, I was unaware of that fact. Grab the camera. Go show that. Damn it! Yeah, don't break it off. I can weld it, I think.
I'm not.
I think I can weld it. Son of a...
Sides.
Can I weld it? It's metal. Yay, I can weld it. It's weldable. All right, not a total loss. I can weld it. All right. Got my boards cut. Let's do some welding. Okay, here we are. I haven't checked the depth over here. Got it. I don't know. It needs to come out this way a little bit. A lot bit. It's gonna be somewhere in there. This will be somewhere in here. So you can see we guessed wrong on our width. There's no way to get. Oh no, I was gonna cut this out. Yeah, you remember? I don't. So we're going to cut that out. So let me get this lined up with where I think that should be. Okay. 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 Let's measure and cut and measure and stuff. So the door closes here. We'll have to accommodate the door too. Okay, we'll have to figure that out a little bit. How deep is that? I'll get in there. Okay, so this is a tad bit of experimentation. So we've got the C-pillar goes in here, so we'll have to have the C-pillar cut out here. I measured a depth somewhere in this neighborhood, which using a ruler and stuff would be fun because I probably shouldn't guess and make it really crappy. But I do want to be able to cut it out later to make sure that it's not super bad. All right, so that's somewhere in the 1 1/4 range. It's between 1 1/4, 1 and 3/8. 3/8. So we'll do that. Three eighths, 1 and 3/8. Okay, so 1 and 3/8 there will be to the back side of this. It doesn't have to be tight, and it shouldn't be, because the truck is going to flex. The truck is going to move. Stuff is going to happen. And I don't want that rubbing or bumping or rattling. So that's important to us too. So we'll be cutting that out. So this will be front. Aft. Okay. That's where that is. Jigsaw puzzle time! Okay. Just so you know, I did weld it. How's that? Oh, it doesn't look too bad, Eric. I know, it didn't look that bad. It was not fun to do, but I got it just the same. Let's try not to do that again, alright? Alright, we're going to lock this down so we don't make any more major mistakes when we get the jigsaw out and we start jigsawing. So we're locking this thing down. No moving. What's funny is my wife thinks I can build a table, farmhouse table, that is quality enough that my daughter would display it in her home. It's ironic and hilarious because I know I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a welder, I'm not a carpenter. I'm barely a Range Rover mechanic. Okay, I thought through this a little bit. What I didn't tell you earlier was we're gonna keep the carpet. So the carpet and the padding is gonna take up some depth here. We just have to guess. And I think within, you know, 1/4 of an inch, we're probably fine. So I'm thinking there's gonna be carpet down here. And I'm thinking I need to take out the width of a board so that the seam is on the bottom side of the board like this instead of we doing this. So we'll do this. And then when I round it off, it'll look better. So we'll do this instead. So the top board will sit on top. So there's 3/4 of an inch that'll have to be taken off too. So this board needs to be taken down some distance. So we're gonna guess a little bit and make some measurements and then slice it down the middle. So we'll use the square side and come up with got some hawks. All right, so 3/4 of an inch from our magic carpet. Magic carpet distance here, which we could guess at an inch or 3/4, somewhere close to that. So if we go with an inch, that's there, and then 3/4 from there. No, yeah, that's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, so 1 inch to there for carpet and stuff, and then 3/4 of an inch for the board is there. So let's measure this board again, because that doesn't look right in my brain. Okay, that's correct. So board. So we need something like this. So there we go. So this will be the carpet distance, and this will be the board distance here. So we need to take off this amount right in here. So that's what we're gonna do. So we'll make some measurements and marks, and then we'll do another run down there and be disappointed in our tool. Can't make a straight cut to save my life. Not with that tool. Jeez, this is brutal. Okay, somewhere in there the battery shut off on the camera, and because it ran out, and you didn't hear what I was going to say. So the next step is we're going to mount these two boards together, and then we'll start measuring and making sure they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, you'd think I was a woodworker with the number of these grip clamps I have, but I'm not. All right, so this is going to go here, so we need to grip this, and that's obviously not behaving well, so we're going to need a hammer to adjust it slightly, because every time I squeeze it, it doesn't do what it's supposed to. Okay, so we're adjusting that, putting putting on a block to keep it square and keep magic from being stupid. All right, let's get this. I overestimated that, didn't I? A little bit of that there. This one's same thing. Of course, they're not the same length, excuse me. Got it off down here, so where's my hammer? Where'd you put it? Right there, of course. Okay, right on the money, but not on the money this way. Square. Keep that where it's at. We'll put some air nails in it. Air. Oh, put some oil in it first. Ooh, settle down. So the middle is bowing, so we're going to stand that out. Push it around here to see where that's going to be, and it is not close. So we're going to need to lay it flat, I think, as best I can. I hope that middle is lined up better. Okay, I think I can hold it and shoot it. Can't hold it and shoot it, I need two hands. This side feels pretty good. Oh! This side feels good. Let's get that side. Lock it down. That one's good right there. Okay. The bend is down here. Okay. See, it's got a lip on it. I need to get that lined out better. Just its own weight on it. Flip it around this way. We'll use physics. The board's going to fly off here. Well, we're going to nail it and then clean the top off. I don't know which one's better. All right, that was pretty okay. All right, but I know it's in place, so it's not going anywhere. So we can adjust it, put it in the... Okay, there we go. Look at that. Oh, amazing. That's beautiful. Oh man, that's so good. All right, it sucks. I know. Okay, so over here, when we close the door, so we know we were gonna have to take some of that off. So I think we're gonna take off all of this. So we'll come back and go across there with the saw and take this whole piece off just to get this back away from the door trim. So again, this will be slightly higher because of the carpet and such. So that pad's not, I mean, it's not terribly thick. Unless I replace it with neoprene, which I probably will. So neoprene is really thin, like this thin as my finger, which is what I was counting on. So thin as my finger, which is one height level better than that. So that puts us right up there, right up next to that. So that's what we'll do. I like the way this is going as far as things I can mount to on the back side. Lots of stuff back there. See that big nice fat bolt about 3/4 of the way up there? Yeah, we'll build us a bracket. It ain't going nowhere. And then we've got bolts underneath us here. There's a bolt here. So we got places to mount to. That's gonna be a challenge. That's gonna be the big challenge. So before I button everything completely up, like I'll need one more panel on the back side here, and then we'll need to sort that out somehow. So thinking through that, but that gets us started on mounting our, don't break and don't poke holes. All right, that gets us started on mounting our circuit board, our switchboard. Let's call it a switchboard. All right, I'm just gonna set you right here. I'm gonna grab the switchboard. Switchboard, woo, 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 switchboard. Okay, so we know we can cut off some of the switchboard here. So we don't need that much, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's what it looks like now. I like the way that's gonna go. Okay. So we can, let's clean up our switchboard and let's cut that off because that's annoying. And then we'll get that going. All right. Okay, this is a bit of a disappointment here. This is roughly the same size as the Kenwood subwoofer I wanted to install. That leaves almost no room for anything else going on back there. So that's a bit of a disappointment, because even with this up, I need a couple of inches for this one, and that won't work. Now, I could still keep that in mind and buy it and install it, but because I've taken up the 2 inches here with the hose, I'm limiting myself greatly to what I can get done back there. The other part of this is that this needs to be somewhere. Now I can put this above the wheel well here. I could put this here, and that would still work. And it could be in here. Kind of, I guess. It would have to be, I'll either have to redesign this whole thing, or we have to come up with another plan for it. Come up with another plan for a subwoofer, or location for a subwoofer. Okay. We're gonna punt on the subwoofer. We're gonna punt. We can either try to look for a smaller subwoofer, or we're going to look for another location for a subwoofer. And I think it still also would have to be smaller. But I do need room for things back there. And the things I want and the things I'd like are two different things. So that's what we're gonna go with. All right, let me get this mounted and then we'll start wiring up stuff. Oh, I've been recording this whole time? Great. Okay, apparently I have no ability to shut the camera off. What the hell? Okay, we're back. I didn't know I turned that off. All right, wonder what you got to see. We may have to come back out here and shoot another cut. Okay, so this is where we are. Got this board mounted. Next step, we're gonna wire this all up. I don't know how long this video got, so I'm gonna call it here and say that's good enough. We'll get this one out and you'll see it, and the next time you'll see is we'll have that hooked up, and I'll even plug in a battery, and we will turn the lights on this vehicle in the next video. All right, that's what we got. Have a good week, everyone.